Hi, and thanks for watching another video from Pro Audio Development. My name is Rick Perry. I run a website, rickcperry.com. And this is videos for the DIY sound guys, the average user. My whole website is based on training people how to use the equipment they already have, rather than hiring the pro guys to come out and throw the money in their pocket and leave, and you never learn anything from them except how to pay them. So here we go. Now, when I was setting up for this video, the last video that I shot was one on, I got talking about, homemade sub-kick and how you need to polarity invert the cables. Well, I want to show you, I got a tester here called the Galaxy Audio Cricket. I love this little tester. This tester will work several ways. It sends a signal out, and with the green light on, with it blinking, it's sending a signal out with like positive on pin 2. So what happens, and you can use this in speaker mode like this. With it in that mode, then you can take the receiver and put the microphone on and turn it on. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. And now you can see it's picking up wirelessly. It knows that it's sending pin 2 out, blinking. Okay, so now what we want to do is you can get one of these and you can test your system out. You can run this through the system, and that's what we're going to do right now. I got this mixer set up, and I'm going to take this cable right here. We'll just throw it up here. Plug it into input number 1. Alright, so here's our input. So we take our S. Now, you can test cables with this as well, and I want to show you this in just a second. This is my other cable tester. In one of my other videos, this cable little adapter I made was too short to be tested here. You can test them with this. Anyway, let's take the sender, okay, and I'm going to switch it from speaker to low Z, or low input, and then we're going to plug it into the back here. Right here you've got external speaker. This will drive that speaker by itself with no amplifier, but we're going to run it through the amp just to check to make sure from where our microphone plugs in all the way to the output of the speaker that our phase is going to be correct, or our polarity is going to be correct. So we'll plug this in, okay, turn this on. Alright, so we'll start getting our blink, and we should be able to turn this up. Okay, so now this is coming through the amplifier. So now we will get our receiver, turn it on microphone, turn the gain down a little bit, and turn it on. Alright, what's this telling us? This is telling me that that cable is polarity inverted. Let's see, we are on polarity. We have it on microphone. Whoop, hold on, microphone. And there's our polarity inverted through the system. So, where did that come from? Let's try to find out. Okay, we'll turn this down, turn that off. Trying to unplug this one-handed. Okay, that's down. Let's try this other cable. I really do need to get a better tripod than this. I'm holding the tripod so that I can just set the camera down, but I've got an old cheap tripod. I may need to put a PayPal account on my YouTube channel so you guys can buy me a tripod. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's turn that back on. Let's see what we got now. still have a polarity problem here. Some wedge monitors you will find that the tweeter and the woofer will be different phases. Okay, so now let's break this down a minute and let's find out what's going on. Okay, so I want to find where the phase is happening. Okay, what my problem is while I was setting up to shoot the video for how to properly make, over here, you see my soldering iron's ready, how to properly make a phase inverting cable for like your bottom snare mic or your inside or outside kick mic. This is for analog consoles that do not have the phase button. Okay, if you want to run upper and lower snare mics, one of the two is going to have to be have the phase flipped. What I ran into was this cable is intentionally phase inverted, pin 2 and pin 3 are crossed. This cable is right. Well, what happens is the first video that I showed you, I went between both cables and it was still out of phase, and it was blowing my mind. I couldn't figure out. I had to pause the camera and go in here and figure out what was going on. So on the input back here, we're going into the left input, which is mono. So, and let's go into the mono output and push the bridge button. So now I'm using both sides of the amplifier with one input and bridging it. Okay, so there's the amp. The speaker's connected. So then, I should have, the amp's on, so I need to be careful plugging this in. Alright, so we're going into the left. So just for kicks, we'll pan it all the way to the left. So I'm going to take my S box, the send, and I'm going to plug this in. I love it when I'm shooting videos and things like this happen, because this is a great example of when you can't put your finger on something, on why it just doesn't sound right. These are some of the things that happen. So I'm going to put this on high and turn this on. Alright, so we get the blink, so we should turn it. Okay, so now what's happening, the signal is coming from the box into the channel strip, out of the mixer, into the amplifier, and through the speaker. So now, if I turn this on, alright, this should be correct because this cable is intentionally got the phase flipped. Okay, so let's just change cables. And while we're at it, I want to show you, before we go any further, let's take, I'll try to hold the camera here. Alright, so I'm going to take this box, plug the cable into here. We're still on polarity. Switch is up, down. Now I'll go to the balanced output. And we'll put the switch on 2T because we want to actually say that the positive coming from this is going to end up on pin 2. If I do 3T, it would be different. So we want 2T. So there we go. We are definitely cable polarity inverted on that cable. So let's unplug this. Okay, lay this off to the side. Okay. Now, this cable should be correct. And I've had a few surprises shooting these videos, so let's just see. Alright, this is the receiver. Obviously I had it in the wrong side there. Pins up. Okay, there's the receiver. Put our sender up here. This one should be correct. Yes. Without touching anything, that shows you this is correct. Okay. So, this cable I intentionally built for snare mics. Specifically for snare mics. So, there's a polarity invert cable, and you saw it on the box. Now here's a correct cable. So now I'm going to take this, wrong side, and plug it into the mixer. So now we know we have a correct cable on here. Whoop. There I go. Should have turned the gain down. So now we'll take this and turn it onto the mic, and we're on polarity. But wait, why is that? We are on polarity, but it's blinking red. This should be blinking green. So now we sit back and we look. From this box to that speaker, there's an inversion going on that we don't want. Okay, so now how do we check that? Okay, I like to go to the source and back up. You can take this cable out and plug it directly into your Cricket and go from there forward. Well, let's go backwards. So we're actually going to take, let's unplug this again. Well, before we get too far along, okay, let's get this going again. Okay, and this is still on. Alright, now, for some of you who want to see this, we'll go to the back of the amplifier. You said, yeah, but you bridged it. I understand, so let's unplug it. Alright, we're still on our mono input, so let's unbridge it, and let's go directly to left output. Okay, so now we're unbridged. Turn the volume back up, and let's check it. Alright, we still have a phase problem. Okay, turn that back down. Okay, and just for kicks, let's go to the right input. And we'll change the speaker output to the right. It is not bridged. Okay, come over here. Still have a problem. Okay, so let's turn that down. Now, I'm going to take the sender, unplug it, and it has the ability to drive an external speaker. So let's come over to the amp and unplug the output. This will go directly to the wedge monitor. And where this is useful is you can plug this into your mains and it will directly power the mains with itself. Alright, we'll plug this into external speaker. Okay. Whoa! Do not treat your equipment like I do. I own it though. Alright, turn the speaker on. There we go. You may can hear the difference. Hear the bottom end a little better on it. So we take our receiver. Oh, look at that. When we drive the speaker directly from the Cricket, we have two green lights. Okay, so that tells us the speaker is wired correctly. Okay, so let's unplug this and plug this back in. We're in the right input. Okay, we'll go right. The mono is out. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark right there. Okay, so now which way we're going to go? Alright, let's take the sender and let's unplug. This is the balanced cable. Let's unplug it from the back of the amplifier. This is our balanced TRS cable that goes to the input of the amplifier to the input output from the mixer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the receiver, and that's the balanced in. Plug this in here, and we're going to take the sender, we're going to take the balanced out, plug it in, and we're going to put that on 2T. There you go. There's nothing wrong with that cable. So let's take this, plug this back into the amp. Let's say we'll go back to right. Okay. So now we'll take our sender, plug it into the external speaker. Turn the mic on. Alright. So that's okay. Now let's go to the balanced out. Turn it on. Okay. Still have a phase problem. Okay. Now, the only other link, this amp plugs into the mixer right there. We've checked everything all the way from forward to backward. We still have a phase problem. If you've been keeping up with me, the common issue is the amplifier. There's something going on. The only thing I can think of is this is not a balanced input. It's a line input. See? Line in. So what's happening is when I plug this in, it's probably getting caught between the little brushes, getting caught between the ring and the sleeve. And that's the only thing that I can think of. And the only way to know for sure is if I were to actually maybe go to the CD input or use a different adapter to go into here. But at any rate, that's the way to use the Galaxy Audio Cricket to diagnose your phase problems. This video ended up turning into a video for the Galaxy Audio Cricket, which I've already shown in one of my videos before. But this just shows if you do some diagnostic work on your own equipment, you can find your problems in areas that you need to address. Typically when I set up someone else's PA system, I'll take the Cricket with me and I'll play directly into their mains to make sure that their mains aren't wired differently inside. Some of the JBLs, you'll find the horn is wired out of phase and the woofer is wired in phase, and you know that's the way they're supposed to be. So if you find a pair of speakers that both check like red light, green light on both sides, then you're probably okay. But if one side is different than the other, then the cabinet is wired wrong inside. If that turns out okay, a lot of times I'll actually go to the channel strip of the mixer. Hopefully a live band has got a larger mixer than this. But I'll go directly into the channel strip of the mixer and run the signal through the amp, through the speakers, and check it. And if everything's okay, then I know that if the mix sucks, it's me and not the system. So anyway, I guess I'm going to wrap this video up, and we'll probably get back to shooting our other video of a polarity invert cable. So look around on my channel for that video. But I hope that you actually get some use out of this. I highly recommend you actually go out and find you one of these Galaxy Audio Crickets. These things are wonderful. They work great. They've saved my butt many times. And today, when I was setting up to do the polarity invert cable, it actually came into play where I had an opportunity to shoot a video and show you the diagnostics you can do with this device. They're about $100 or so. Well worth your time, you know. And throw it in your toolbox with the rest of your little gadgets. You go out and do a gig, you know, do a little bleep on the room, and that way you know you're covered. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave me a comment below. Do you like the video? What did I do wrong? What would you like to see in upcoming videos? And we'll just go from there. Come to my website, rickcperry.com, and I'd appreciate it. Thanks a lot.